Welcome everybody back to Final Fantasy X-2. We're not quite done yet because it is time for the Gullwing's last mission. So, this is basically an extra game mode, pretty much a whole game in and of itself, that was added to the international versions of Final Fantasy X-2, the extra version released for the PS2. Obviously, the HD remakes have allowed players across the world to experience it, and I kind of like it. It's very bittersweet. From a story perspective, very bittersweet, and it's a nice little wrap-up to everything that X-2 hints towards with regards to the Gullwings falling apart and leaving one another. So it very much lives up to its name. This is their last mission. This takes place after the perfect ending. By the by, I also have my brother back. Daniel's here again.
Hi.
All of that for a hi. A year-long wait, all for hi. So you have never actually played through all of this before, yeah?
I think I went halfway.
Halfway's reasonable because this actual campaign does have some glaring issues. So many moments where if you don't have a manual, you're gonna get screwed over. So, yeah, we'll go into that when we get into the gameplay. For now, let's just have a little listen to this cutscene.
Wait, do we find out who sent the letters?
We do, yes, yes.
It's been so long, Uni. How are you?
Good.
I told myself we could see each other whenever we wanted, but time just kept passing. The letter said to check the 5th seat from the right in the front row of the East Block, right?
Nice little nod to the first game there. That's the very same seat that Tidus's groupie was sitting.
Pain!
Long time no see.
You got a letter too, Pain?
Looks that way.
Has it been 3 months?
Feels like more than that.
What are you complaining about? You two are the ones who got off the ship in the first place, remember?
I suppose some bonds just can't be broken.
Also interesting, it's not just Yuna doing narration anymore because she's no longer regaling this.
Game.
Yeah, she's not regaling this to Tidus anymore, or Jecht rather. So, yeah, we get a little narration from all three girls now. We get their own little takes on all the situations.
Thanks, Riku. Where's brother?
He's out shopping with Buddy. Forget about that. Come on, Uni, read the letter. Read it, read it!
Oh, right. Travel to Udisur. Reach the top by powers yours and yours alone, and there will be something worth seeing.
That's it?
That's it.
Udisur? What's a Udisur?
It's something that's very hard to pronounce, and I'm glad you've done it for me so I don't look a fool later on.
A ruined tower just recently discovered, so they say. I've got an idea where it might be.
Then let's go! Take the helm, Pain!
Me? I think brother will get mad if he finds out, won't he?
Who cares?
That would be my take on the situation, yeah. Screw you, brother. Let's go.
Y! R!
P.
Let's go!
This doesn't look good.
I kind of love this slightly botched takeoff. Look at him go, so graceful. Fuck, oh shit. Okay, cool, let's go. Adventure. What was that?
Killed the chocobo.
Just run them all over. So here it is, the HD remaster of Last Mission. This must have been nice for the voice actresses to get back together and re-record for the HD port. And they all sound pretty much the same as they did way back when, so that's impressive. So here's our little hub world. If you get evicted from the Utasa Tower, you end up back here and have to go through it again. More on that later. For fans of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, I would argue that this is probably for you because that's pretty much the gameplay.
That's why I hated it.
Yeah, I say Pokemon Mystery Dungeon or Chocobo Mystery Dungeon, which was also a game. So yeah,
both dumb games.
You don't like dungeon crawlers then? Not in this vein.
And there will be something.
Fair enough.
We should do as it says.
Oh, I've got a bad feeling about this.
She does not know how right she is. So, for this game mode, you basically pick one of the 3 girls to play as. I imagine that there is a bit of strategy in chopping and changing, but I just picked my favourite of the 3 girls, who is Riku. So, I'm going to go through this as Riku. She's also the character who's the most, like, enthused to carry on with missions and such, so I figured it only makes sense. So yeah, individual skill is the name of the game. You go in with one person. Having Riku in particular is very good because being a thief, she can steal items. And at one very particular point, you need to steal a certain item to beat the rest of this place. So yeah. Let's do this. Let's have a little look at this gameplay. So you'll notice that we're on something of a grid here. You move around the grids. And you pick up items. All the items have different effects. A lot of them are books or tomes, so you have to actually stop and read them to use their abilities. And you'll also notice you have rocks here as well. So rocks, you just wail on them until they break. Sometimes they give you items. Sometimes you get golden rocks, which give you gil, and that's great. You said that you only got through half of this. You didn't much care for the gameplay. What would you say is your biggest gripe with it, aside from the overall thing?
I don't like how it looks.
Okay.
I don't like looking at a map.
You can get rid of the map, but then the game just gets really goddamn hard.
Yeah, I don't like looking at a map.
Yeah.
Isn't there like trapdoors and you like fall through it?
There are a lot of traps and all that sort of nonsense about, and I do encounter a lot of those. Very, very true. But depending on the character you play as or the abilities you have currently equipped to you, you can subvert traps. So yeah, I can definitely see why you have problems with this anyway, because as we'll be seeing later, there are some really bullshit moments. So at the moment, I'm playing Riku as a gun mage. As you go, you can pick up dress spheres. You can add them to your list of currently equipped spheres. You can chop and change between them. They all have their own health, so they all function independently of one another. But depending on the combination of dress spheres you have currently equipped, that changes what abilities you have on. And if you have an ability on for oh so long, it will eventually turn into an accessory that you can use to equip that ability whenever you want. You can equip 2 accessories at once that let you do this, so there's a lot of combination here, which is good for the 80 floors you're going to be going through. But as we were musing before we started this, you do have traps, and they can suck. They can have traps like that launch you around. The worst ones are trap doors that send you back a floor. They are probably the worst thing ever. And one of the worst things are certain types of obstacles. They are these basically locked up staircases, so they block your progression, and in order to unlock them you have to fit certain criteria, but the game will not tell you what the criteria are. So sometimes it's something like, you have to pick up and drop at least 10 items, you have to defeat X amount of enemies, you have to skip X amount of turns standing and doing nothing, you have to attack at nothing X amount of times. Like, some of them are ridiculous, and there is no way to figure them out. So an FAQ is mandatory for this game. Because, on the flip side, if you spend too long on a floor, a la Bubble Bobble, Tremor will appear, run up to you, and kindly escort you back to floor number 1. Which is actually worse than dying, because at least when you die, you can go back to your last save point and carry on from every 5th or 10th floor. No, Tremor will just make you do the whole damn thing again, so Anyway, you'll notice here that a lot of this is kind of about management, of keeping all of your dress spheres healed up, make sure you're in the right place, making sure you're getting attacks on enemies whenever possible. All of the dress spheres share the same pool of MP, so there's often a big decision of, do I use the MP for healing or do I use it for attacks? Fun fact, you should probably be using it for healing. And yeah, every 10 floors or so, you'll have either a boss fight or a cutscene. So let's watch a cutscene at our little rest stops, where you also get a chest you can use to restock yourself on items.
Out of shape?
A little. I haven't gotten much exercise lately. What about you, Riku?
Piece of cake. You know why? Because I don't sit around all day doing nothing like you do.
You've got me there.
So, what have you been looking for, Riku? Some machine sunk in the sea or something?
That's right.
Oh yeah, you've been helping Shinra, haven't you?
How is that demon child doing? Is he still a demon? I hope.
Well, you know how Shinra left the ship and is off researching something or other with Rin? Every now and then he asks me to check out this or that. He says he can't do it himself because he's just a kid. So I'm always looking for ruins on the bottom of the sea or off running all over on some mission or another.
Have you ever heard of that theory that Rin is like the main villain of the whole Final Fantasy X series? That everything bad that happens is because of Rin.
Yeah.
Me, I personally think it's just Albed propaganda. I think it's just anti-Albed rhetoric right there.
Anyone that sells you something.
Not Owaka, he's a good boy.
It's like they plan the boss fights.
Well, that can be said for all merchants in all RPGs, really.
But those are Ronso lands, right? They weren't even going to consult with Kimari. Can you believe it? So I helped set up a meeting between them, you know? He said,
Kimari worry hunters defile sacred ground.
but LeBlanc just told him the Syndicate does whatever it wants. I mean, show some gratitude, will ya? And then there's Klasko. You know how kids are. He still bugs me to help him out all the time.
Wait, is Klasko a kid? He seems like he's in his mid-20s and already going through his midlife crisis, so yeah.
And the more I help, the more he ends up depending on me. Yeesh! Oh yeah, I heard from Tobly a while ago too. And check this out.
We gave Tobly a cup of coffee and this was the results.
He said I've got to sound as good as you, Uni. So I've been taking voice lessons from Barkeep. My darling, I love you.
Wow, you certainly have been busy.
Well, that's one way to put it.
Wanna help? Rejected again. No matter how many times I ask, she always says no.
But if I were as busy as you, I'd go out of my mind.
You never want to see me anymore, Uni.
You know that's not true.
So this does get addressed later, but Riku is really passive-aggressive in this. She's like so genuinely salty that the girls have pretty much ditched her to go do their own thing. And yeah, that will definitely come to a head. So let's grab some treasure chests. By the way, that's a new thing I've started doing. I call them treasure chests now. I hope you're okay with that.
Don't like it.
I figured you wouldn't like it. Let's continue up the tower. 10 floors at a time. Alright, so this right here is a nice little look at the way you upgrade your dress spheres. So what you can do is essentially use the dressmaker books to create new spheres. And if you have two spheres of the same type, regardless of their levels, you can use dress fusion secrets to combine them into more powerful versions of themselves. So the only downside to this is you can't do it with the sphere you're currently equipped with, which is pointless and annoying. So you have to constantly shuffle your goddamn equipped spheres around to level things up, which is just as complicated as it looks, as needlessly complicated as it looks. But also it is very satisfying when you have one dress sphere and you turn it to like level 20, 30, 40, etc. Because that particular dress sphere will end up with just tons of HP and really decent attacks. Also, these guys right here, the protein gels, first time going through this, I had to scrap the recording because I just spent ages waiting for these guys to do their very slow magic animations and slowly kill me, and it actually ate up all my hard drive space. What you're meant to do is position yourself in a way that they cannot attack you, because they can only attack directly upwards or directly diagonal of themselves. So if you're always in a position, as I'm tactfully doing now, where they can't hit you, well, you know, they can't hit you, so this becomes a big game of cat and mouse of you running around and trying to get those sweet hits in. Finish them off, only for another one to spawn. Thanks, game. That happens a lot. So here I am at the item shop, which is also a thing that can randomly appear as you progress through the tower. You can also use items to make the item shop appear. You can buy and sell items there. And if you find yourself out of inventory space, you can also just scrap items, which is something you have to get good at doing. Anyway, boss fights. There are also a bunch of boss fights in Utica Tower. And they're not actually that tough, so long as you go in with a decent amount of fully healed dress spheres and appropriately wail on them. As it stands, I've become very reliant on Riku's Samurai Dress Sphere, because that's the closest we're going to get to playing Zauron in this. And here I am just making that Samurai Dress Sphere all the stronger, buffing it, making it even tougher.
Wait, can't you get Orin as a monster in the Monster Arena?
You can in the main game, but not in the not in this. This is just Uniriku Pain, because it is its own thing. Although, speaking of Monster Arena, anyone who's watched those last few 10-2 videos they already know who's at the end of Utica Tower. Already looking forward to that goddamn mess of a boss fight. So, I really wanted Zantetsuken in this guy, but I don't think you can on bosses, unfortunately. You can do it on most normal enemies, and the only downside is that you don't get XP for it. So if you're completely mobbed by enemies and you want to clear them out, Zantetsuken them all the way. Ow, goddammit. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep using Hard Break. That hits like a goddamn tank. Turn the camera so I can actually see how much damage I'm doing. No, god damn it. The O2 is so big I can't see how much I'm hitting it for. The camera's not letting me see how much damage I'm doing. There we are. And a couple more of those. That's him done. Hard Break is one of the warrior's innate abilities, so that's why it's nice to have the warrior dress sphere in your reserves. I'm going to run around a little bit, try and heal myself a bit. But obviously not for too long, otherwise Tremor will come in and tell me to fuck off. And there we go. Whenever you get a chance, save. Why wouldn't you? Sometimes you have to spend items to save, sometimes the game just lets you.
It looks so old.
That's because it probably is. The people who found it think it might even predate Xanarkand.
You're talking about the machine faction, right? They weren't able to find out much.
Remember what the letter said. If we make it to the top, there will be something worth seeing. What do you think is up there?
Maybe whatever gives this place its name.
At the top of this tower, we'll find the Great Utica. Whatever the hell a Utica is. I'm actually curious what a Utica is. I'm going to Google it.
Okay.
How's Gipple been
Have
doing
fun.
anyway?
I will. Oh, fuck, my phone's out of credit.
I haven't
Damn
seen
it.
him for a while.
Have you got your phone on you?
You haven't?
Yeah. What about Barreleye and Nuge? Weren't you all together?
Things aren't that simple. Everyone is busy doing their own thing.
I heard that some of the groups had split up.
You heard right. The Youth League already did, and New Yevon looks to be next. Yevon is so big that Barreleye seems to be having a hard time of it, though. Change is slow. And it's only good if it's the right kind of change. The three of them are making the rounds on apology duty.
Sorry about that whole Civil War thing, everyone. This is my job now, apologising. Ah, fuck off, phone. This is why I turned my phone off in the first place.
Well, I'm sure things will settle down sooner or later. Barreleye is as good as any with the old folk.
Then the four of you will be able to see each other soon.
No, I think they may have to wait a while.
Oh, why's that?
There's something I want to do first.
What is it?
Ah! Let me guess, it's a secret, right?
Well, it's nothing.
Aren't you dying to know?
I can't always be worrying about other people all the time.
I guess that's true.
I really shouldn't worry about other people, but I can't help it.
Alright, so far the cutscenes are a bit tame, but they do amp up. So, let's go a couple more floors, fight a couple more bosses, and then get another cutscene. I think I'm going to condense the gameplay down a bit now. I think you've gotten the point from what you've seen. I'll just highlight when we get to particularly bullshit moments, which are quite abundant. Anyway, bunch of free stuff. UB Mellow is a very good item because when you throw it at an enemy, it means they can only attack once every other turn. Combine that with the haste potion, the I think they're called the High Road Winds or something along those lines, and you can just get 4 lots of attacks on your enemy pretty much all the time, whenever. Anyway, 10 floors later.
What is it?
It's strange, don't you think? We're so far from Besaid, but the sunset looks the same.
Yeah, the same. Well, I guess you're right.
But even though it looks the same, it actually changes every day.
It does?
It's just something I've been thinking about recently.
So, you've been staying in Besaid?
Yeah, she has. She's totally gone back to her life before she joined the Gullwings.
That's not true at all. Back then, I was only thinking of someone I had lost.
So this is where the inability to address Tidus's name gets really confusing.
Person now.
The conversation kind of falls apart when they can't say the name of Yuna's boyfriend.
Easy.
That sounds relaxing.
I did meet someone.
Ooh, did you hear that? Uni's got a guy paying. Well, come on. Tell us about him. Tell us, please.
What? It's no big deal.
Come on, give us something.
Yuna's giggling. She's come to the realization that no one can say her boyfriend's name because it's customizable.
I was hoping you would cut back to the laughing scene.
Yeah, like surely you just show an image of him or something so this scene isn't confusing. Just cut to our goofy, blonde sports boy.
Oh, okay, so now I get it. That's why you never come when I ask you to.
You're not jealous, are you?
No, I'm not. Okay, maybe just a little. But if he's back too, why are you just spending all your time on Besaid, Uni? You could go on an airship cruise around the world or something.
I've been to trips across the world twice now, Riku. I've saved the world twice. I want a break.
Maybe someday. I don't want to rush into anything just now.
Until you figure out what you want to do, right?
No, that's not quite it. I don't feel like I need to find something. I can't really explain it. But you know what I mean, don't you?
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, Not in the least.
Oh, I don't get it either. But I guess you better start thinking about things seriously from now on.
Maybe you're right.
I suppose it would be stranger if nothing at all had changed.
So I don't know if this was intentional, probably not, but the kind of awkwardness between the three of them right now and the whole not knowing what they want to do next and not knowing where they're going with their lives almost feels like a metaphor about the potential development of a Final Fantasy X-3. Just the fact that they don't really know what to do with themselves, or they have run out of purpose in their lives, in Yuna's case. Or even Riku's case, because she just adventures for the sake of it now. Like, yeah, I feel like this is almost like the developers saying there's not much we could do with a third game, and we're realising that now. Anyway, get back to that point in a mo. Here's another boss fight. It's the Stalwarts. His big goddamn attack would be really painful if not for how much I've buffed this samurai. Just make this samurai ridiculous. Yeah, lots and lots of defense investment here. And also I'm like level 37 and the samurai's like level 11, 12 at this point, so...
Why are there still fiends?
Why are there still fiends? Why wouldn't there be? Fiends are...
Sin's gone.
Well, fiends
And
are...
the faith have, like, disappeared.
Fireflies are still their own thing, though. Fireflies are still existent, regardless of the faith.
But they were there because of the faith.
No, they just are a thing that exists. Fireflies... The faith, I think, summons the Fireflies, but Fireflies exist on their own. They live in the Moonflow, don't they?
Oh, so just destroy the Moonflow and...
just nuke the Moonflow, we'll be fine. Fuck it. We'll get rid of all the monsters forever if we stop being such tree huggers and just nuke the goddamn Moonflow. That's the way to do it. Good plan, good thinking. I like the way you think.
You could also kill Tobley.
I don't want to kill Tobley, he's a good boy.
It's really annoying.
And then a guard found me while I was watching the stage. He didn't stand a chance. Bam! Boom! Pow! Yeah!
I kind of feel bad for the guy.
He was just a LeBlanc thug. And you're one to talk pain. You beat up a bunch of them.
It sounds like you two had some fun.
Yeah, while you were strutting around in that silly getup.
That thing was so heavy and hot. That's not as easy as it looks, you know. Those were fun times.
I'm writing a book.
A book?
Why did that make you laugh?
I want to make a record of it all.
Jiminy.
Oh no, she's writing Jiminy's journal, shit.
Help me write it.
It all comes together. Oh my god, I just had a realization.
Written down.
Oh my god, these three could be in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, they're in Kingdom Hearts
Oh my
3,
god,
but the fairies-
my LPs are going to collide. It's happening again.
Well, they're in Kingdom Hearts 2, they're not in 3. There's no Final Fantasy
Oh,
characters
that's bollocks. Screw that noise.
The memory of them is in 3.
Oh, screw that.
So what new stuff has been happening?
I got a lot of things going on.
Seems to me you just stick your head in wherever it fits. Riku, let me ask you this. Just what is it you want to be?
B? Well, that's easy.
Come on.
I'm thinking, okay? It's not that I can't decide. It's just nothing comes to mind.
This would be a good time for her to bring back that Kimari quotes. Kimari think Riku should stay Riku. That would be the perfect time for her to cite that.
Look, I know I can't just sit around and do nothing. I can't stay still in one place. I have to keep busy.
That's an illness.
Not like you, Uni.
Like me.
Just passing all those days back on Besaid, wasting your time away.
Oh, claws are out now.
What do you mean, wasting? I'm not flying all over the place like you. But that's what I want right now.
I don't get it. What is?
To watch the ocean, and go for walks, and cook meals.
But that's so normal, Uni.
But I want normal. Why can't you understand that, Riku?
I just can't. You're not doing anything with your life.
And you're just fooling yourself by keeping busy all the time.
What do you mean by that, huh?
That's enough, both of you. To each her own. Let's just leave it at that.
Well, I would leave it at that if she would just let me be.
Huh, easy for you to say, Pain. You don't care about other people, just yourself.
And you care about others too much.
Well, I can't stand to see you wasting your life away.
That's none of your business.
I said that's enough!
Ladies, please, you're so heated at each other. The voice sync is kind of falling apart. It was all going out of sync there. I thought that was just my game.
And this
No, that's just how it is.
She started it.
You started it, Uni.
Okay, enough.
Things were never like this before.
So I think that's not the first time that Yuna and Riku have ever really had any conflict. Fuck. Well, that was embarrassing. Anyway, let's continue on and hopefully no more drama. Bye.